guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my November favorites. I am so excited to be doing my November favorites because this month, to be honest, we didn't have a lot of products, but we had some great finds. If you want to continue watching and see me put all my favorite products for the month of November on my face, then please go ahead and do so. So we're gonna go ahead and start off with our eyes because I want to just do a beautiful eye look. And if you do see me look down here, it's because now I have this very nice monitor so that I can really see in depth as opposed to having to look into the little viewfinder and be like, what's going on? And if you guys don't know, I'm actually really blind. Like I have to wear contacts. Without my contacts, I can't see shiz. So yeah, it's good to have this situation right here because I can really see what's going on. So many palettes came out this month, guys. It was insane. Like we had Beauty Bird's palette, we had James Charles palette. We just had so many palettes, like Huda Beauty one that I was trying. And I have to say that the favorite one of the month for me was my Naked Urban Decay Cherry palette. So we're gonna go ahead and start off with our eyes. They are a little bit oily, so I'm going to go ahead and prime them. Also, in case you guys are wondering, I am using, what are these? I am using lash extensions right now. I got my lashes done, I wanna say like 2 weeks ago. I'm gonna get a fill next week for like week 3. I do like them. I feel like they've just made life easier. They make me look more like put together when I'm not wearing any makeup. We're gonna start off with our Morphe Eyelid Primer. This is another favorite of mine. I have been obsessed with this. This has changed my life for the better. It's a really good primer. The reason I got this was because when James Charles released his palette, he said that his shadows performed really well with this primer. And I was running out of my Urban Decay Shadow Potion and I really didn't feel like spending a lot of money on it. And a lot of you guys did recommend, you know, going on QVC or seeing the sales, but I kind of wanted to try something different. So I went ahead and purchased this and I am a very big fan of it. I like it as a base when you're just doing a simple look. Now, if I'm going to be cutting creases and stuff like that, then I do like to use, what's it called? I do like to use concealer. You can see the difference with this eye and this eye. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this beautiful palette. Look how dirty it is. That just shows you how much I've used it because it's like dirty. And I'm gonna actually be going in with the brush that this comes with. I never typically use these brushes that come with the palettes because I just like to use my own brushes. But I really was a fan of this guy. So we're gonna be going into the color Juicy. Wait. Juicy right there. It's like this nice, like light corally color. And we're gonna be placing that all over our crease. It's gonna help build. And you can see like how well that blends with this brush. And the pigment in these shadows are like phenomenal. I know a lot of you guys have told me to try the P. Louise shadow base and how like there's nothing better than that. I've looked into it and the reason holding me back from trying it is because of that shipping to the US. I'm like, are you serious? But I just need to go ahead and take the plunge and get it because everybody's like obsessed with it. So I'm like, I probably need that in my life. We are going to be going in with the next color. For the next color, we're gonna be using the shade Bing, right there where my orange nail is. So you guys saw what we did. First, we went in with that lighter color, and then we're going in with this darker color and intensifying. And we're still using this Urban Decay brush. Then we're gonna be going in with my Peach Pearl brush and we're gonna be going back into the first shade we used, which was Juicy. And we're just going to be intensifying kind of where we first placed that color and kind of taking it higher just because we do have hooded eyes. So I kind of wanna just like intensify it. Okay, now we're gonna be taking our, which brush is this? Sigma Eye Shading E55 brush. It's kind of like a fat fluffy brush, but it's like flat. So we're gonna be taking that and putting a color all over our lid. So for that, I'm gonna start off, where do you want to start off with? I'm gonna start off with this color called Feels. And we're just gonna be placing that all over our lid. Now, like I mentioned, I love having lash extensions, but it's a little bit hard when you have, when you're doing your eyeshadow, because you can't really see what's going on behind. Like, you can't get precise. So I've been really into like just doing my natural makeup because I can't really see what's going on. So I've been doing like more of a natural look, which is kind of cool because I really like to do like drama and like make everything so precise and like perfect. But this is kind of like more of a like wearable look, like something that you guys can also easily recreate. And then we're just gonna blend everything back and forth together. And then what we're gonna do is we are going to do a wing. Excuse my ghetto hair right now. I'm like going through something with my hair. Okay, so we're gonna be taking the shade Privacy, which is this dark shade right here. And we're gonna be placing that onto this Morphe brush, and we're gonna be creating a wing. So we're just gonna do a wing with, ooh, that's a thick wing. We're just gonna be doing it with our shadow. We're not gonna be using liner. I've been really into doing wings with shadow instead of gel liner lately because I feel like it gives it like a more smoky look, and I also feel like it kind of makes it look a little bit more natural. We went a little bit dramatic because I didn't think this brush was gonna press down as much as it did. So we can just go back and kind of clean it up in a second. So I'm gonna be taking this little brush and kind of cleaning up this edge. That was a little bit more intense than expected, but it's okay. And then the last thing I like to do once I have the eye makeup on is kind of just brush my lashes back into place, because I feel like when you're using brushes, it kind of moves the lashes and it kind of like makes them like stick together. I see some girls on Instagram who have lash extensions and they do like full-blown eyeshadow looks, like cut their creases and like all that, like the full 9 yards, and I'm like, oh my god, how can you do that? I can't even see what's going on behind my eye right now. I don't even know if this wing is like properly placed because I can't see until I go through this footage. But I don't know. I mean, I think Kylie Jenner also has lash extensions and she wears shadow all the time. I don't know how she does it, but I'm trying over here. Okay, so that is the look. It's not that intense. As you can see, it's a pretty simple look. Used a few colors, you kind of just like blended shit and made a wing and you have something popping. So, I'm like super cozy today. I'm like, should I go out and film looking like a chanchi or should I just not film? But you know, girls gotta do what a girl's gotta do. Okay, so now that we went ahead and applied our eye makeup, I'm gonna go ahead and do primer and foundation. So today for primer and foundation favorites of November, I have 2 new favorites. I'm so excited because honestly, it's very rare for me to have a primer like consistently because usually I stick to the same primer for a while. I'm still loving my Milani Prime Shield. I use this all the time, but there's been another one that's been added to my collection, and no, it's not the $200 primer by Sicily. That's a good primer, just giving you guys an update. But I don't think it's something that you need to go get. So the primer that I do want to talk about today is the KIKO Milano primer. This is the matte face base. I did go ahead and talk about this in my review where I tried Italian makeup. I tried the foundation, the primer, and the setting spray, and I was a very big fan of the primer. Now this primer has that really nice consistency that I like, very similar to the Prime Shield by Milani, where it's kind of like a gel-like consistency, and it just feels really smooth on the skin and hydrating. Whereas though, when I've tried other primers in the past that are for people that do have like oily skin and want a matte complexion, it's just so thick that as soon as you put it on, it starts to kind of make your makeup separate. And this one does not do that. I also like it because it smells very nice. It kind of has like this aloe scent, and it just makes my skin feel hydrated, but as I'm applying it on my skin, I can see it absorb the oils really quickly. So I definitely recommend the matte KIKO Milano primer, so good. So for foundation this month, I did try a few new foundations. My favorite one was the Wonder Beauty foundation. Now this one is kind of a more hydrating foundation, but the reason why I love it so much, like I was just mentioning with the primer, it's one of those products that I feel like during the winter time, your skin needs a little bit of that natural skin-like radiance, that hydration. You don't want something so thick where when you walk outside, it's like you're a stone. You want something that's gonna give you life. And I feel like this foundation gives my skin life. So I also like the fact that this has this nice wand. I remember when I reviewed it, I didn't know if I was gonna like it, but when I started using it, I was like, this is really good stuff. I do quickly wanna talk about sponges. So a few weeks ago, I unfortunately lost my sponge. Well, actually, I was at the nail salon, I was retouching my makeup, and I don't know why, but I brought my sponge and it fell into the sink, and I looked at the sink and there was like hairs all over it, and I was like, I can't, there's no going back. So I just threw it away. It hurt my heart, but I was like, there's no way in hell I'm about to reuse a sponge that just fell into a sink at a nail salon where thousands of people wash their hands in, and God knows what else they may do in the sink. So I had to throw it away. It hurt my heart, but I was like, I can just go to the store and get another one. Went to the store. They were all sold out because everybody loves the sponge. That's how good it is. So I was like, I really need a sponge today. So I went ahead and picked up the Beauty Blender. And I was like, this just does not perform like my Morphe highlighting contour sponge. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna write it out through today. And then this week I went to Ulta and I went to another Ulta because the one that I usually go to is always out of everything. So I went to this other Ulta that I go to whenever I'm trying to find stuff that I know I won't find there. And they had a bunch, and I was like, yep, you're coming home with mama. So I have a brand new one, never been used. There's nothing better than a fresh sponge out of the box, like nothing better. So I just wanted to briefly discuss that because that was life-changing for me. So you can see me applying this foundation, and it just like, it applies so well that I'm just like, yes, yes, yes. I also like it because I'm a huge fan of like dotting my foundation. If you guys watch my reviews, you know I'm constantly dotting stuff on my face, and I feel like this just helps me not have to do that. Like I can just go ahead and apply it with the applicator and my hands are not getting really, really dirty. So that has been my jam. I feel like if you're looking for a foundation that's gonna last you all day for everyday use, it's gonna feel comfortable, not like you're wearing a full heavy duty foundation, this is the way to go. So I think it's perfect. It's a very wearable foundation. And I know it's crazy because you're probably thinking, girl, you have oily skin, you're like loving something that's kind of luminous, but I mean, look at it. It just looks so healthy. Like my skin looks really nice and healthy. And I feel like this is a foundation that somebody that has oily skin, dry skin, normal skin, common skin, you can wear this and you can grow to really love it. As long as you know how to prep your skin correctly, it can always work. So this is the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. I feel like I always talk about this, but if you look at this, like I'm going through this. And it's very rare for me to go through stuff because I have so much stuff. Like if you guys could see this table, it just has foundations, concealers, everything you can think of. And then I have a bunch of stuff in storage, and it's just like too much stuff to even think about. So it says something when I really have been using the shiz out of something. I did hear that this is very comparable to the Kylie Cosmetics concealer, and I actually just purchased it. It's in a box over there. So I will be trying that very soon, letting you guys know the tea on if they're comparable. Apparently they're made in the same factory, so who knows? But what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna apply this baby all over. And I like this because it's very lightweight in formula, very creamy, hydrating, but do you see this coverage? Like it's pigmented. So we are going to just do this. And I do have to say the foundation right now is a little tiny bit darker than my complexion, than like my neck, but it's okay because this is where the concealer comes in to kind of help neutralize and also brighten the under eye and just kind of add dimension to the face. I'm all about dimension. If you guys watch my channel consistently, you guys know that I like dimension. And you can see how like it kind of gives you like that fresh effect right there. And it looks good. And now for powder, I'm back to one of my favorites. This is the MAC Patrick Star powder. I was a huge fan of this powder when it came out and I started using it again. I think the reason that I started using it again was because I saw all the promo for Patrick's new collection with MAC, his final collection with MAC. holiday collection, and they're bringing back this powder. So I was like, oh my God, that powder, I need to go back to it. And I remember why I loved it so much, and it's because the powder is so fine that it doesn't even feel like you're baking. I did ask you guys if you wanted to see a review on the new holiday collection, and it was a tie. Some of you guys were saying no, some of you guys were saying yes. A lot of you guys were kind of like over it, like over the collab. So I think I'm not gonna do the review and tutorial on his new products. Also, you guys, I mean, that works for me because I'm saving my money right there. I don't have to go out and buy that collection. I think I'm gonna pick up a backup powder because I do love this powder. And I just love that packaging, and I know that I will actually use that. So if there's anything I would recommend you trying from the collection, if you're intrigued, I would say get the powder. So now we're gonna be taking my Morphe M433. We let this bake for a little bit, so now we're good to go to just dust it away. And whatever I have left of powder, I just kind of dust it around my cheek area. You can see right here, my smile line, like I mentioned, I always get oily there. Then up here a little bit. I just don't like leaving that powder to waste. I feel like, especially when I'm using a foundation that's not extremely matte, I like to go back in and kind of just powder it. So it's just kind of like serving as like a setting base for it. But you can see how pretty the foundation looks with some powder on. Okay, so now that I went ahead and did the eyes, the foundation, took off the baking powder, we can move on to our blush. I used to be obsessed with this. I want to say like 3 years ago during like fall winter time because it's like a little bit darker, and I just live for like a tiny bit of a darker blush. I feel like during the summer and spring is when I go like a little bit lighter, but usually I stick to like kind of like that peachy, like browny, like bronzy color. But during this time of year, I like a little bit more of a pop. So this is one of my favorites, another Milani blush. This is the Coralllina Baked Powder Blush. You guys know that I live for Luminoso, one of my favorites. I think everybody loves Luminoso. So I'm gonna be applying this with my brush, and I'm just gonna be taking this brush that I love so much. This was a gift from somebody in a gift set from like Forever 21, so this isn't anything spectacular, but you know, we all have those brushes that like are just comfort zone brushes that like we roughened up and we've made it to where it fits perfectly on our face. And I just, this is that one. So if this ever dies on me, I'm gonna be really sad. So let's just go ahead and apply this. We're gonna be going in circular motions. That's just how I like to apply my brush because I feel like it really expands it everywhere as opposed to keeping it super tight in one area. I also have a big head, so it just kind of works for me. I love this blush on my skin complexion because I am tan. I feel like it gives it just the right amount of pinkiness with a little bit of red tone in there. I just think it's perfection. So now for highlights, I've been trying something a little bit different than what I usually do. And that is, this is more of a technique, not so an actual highlight. I'm still obsessing over the same highlighters. I'm gonna also try to find some new gems at the drugstore and just in general. If you guys have any highlight recommendations, just in general, not even from the drugstore, anything that you are obsessed with that you haven't seen me try, then please let me know so I can go ahead and try it. But this is more so a technique. So what I like to do is first I like to go in with my MAC Fix Plus in Gold Light. This does have that really pretty shimmer, and I just kind of go to the side and spritz it. Just kind of like in this general area. Then I'm gonna go in with my highlighter. You can use whatever highlighter you want. I'm using Fuego by Dose of Colors KATY/DESI collab, or KATY x DESI collab. I'm gonna be taking my Milani brush, which I love so much, and we're just gonna be patting that on top of where we had that spray, like this. So it's just like a technique that I like. I feel like it works really well for me because I feel like it gives me this really pretty glow, but it's almost like a glow from within because I already went in with the spray and I kind of activated some shimmer in there. And then I just go on top with the actual highlight, and it kind of like gives a little bit more of a beam to my face. I use this all the time. I mean, look at that. I literally, I'm not lying, I use this all the time. And the last thing we're gonna go ahead and do is we are going to be taking our color Bing, which was the color that, look how dirty that mirror looks, man, oh man. And we're gonna be applying that on our lower lash line because we wanna smoke it up. So, just gonna go in, go to town with it. And we really wanna smoke it up. Like when I say we want to go to town with it, like, I mean it. But you can see, like, smoking it out, that's this cool intensity. And I was living for smoking it out with these, like, purpley pinks. Because I don't usually wear these colors. Like, on the daily, this is just not my thing. But using this palette really made it my thing in the month of November. And the last thing we're going to go ahead and do is go in with a tiny brush. And we're going to be taking the shimmer called Turn On. We're going to be placing that in our inner tear duct. I've been living for an inner tear duct as well. I feel like I kind of go in and out with these inner tear duct glows because I feel like sometimes they can look kind of fake. But I feel like this palette, like I just mentioned, really made me kind of step outside of like the same old and do something like a little bit different. And the last thing we're gonna go ahead and do is do a brow bone highlight. So they have this shade called Hot Spot right here. It's that nice cream shade that I like to use for brow bone highlight. I mean, if a palette has that shade, we found ourselves a winner because I can't live without like that nice white creamy color because I feel like I can use that for anything. We're gonna move on to our lip. So this month I've been obsessed with the Kylie Jenner lip products. I think it has to do a lot with the fact that Kylie Jenner lip products are now sold in Ulta, so you can legit walk into your Ulta, swatch all the colors and see which one works best for you. It's in the shade Commando and it is a velvet. So that means that it gives you that nice moisturizing consistency. It doesn't dry matte. It doesn't make your lips feel like nasty and stuff, but it's still very long wearing. So what I like to do is I like to go in with my lip liner. This is in the color Strip Down. And I'm just gonna go ahead and line my lips. And then put the lipstick on top. I love how they smell. Do you see how pretty that looks like together? I feel like whenever I wear the lipstick alone without a lip liner, it looks way different than it does once I have the lip liner on. I feel like the lip liner, because it's a little bit more brown, it kind of helps like give it dimension as to where it's not gonna look so nude on me, but it's gonna look more like a brownie nude, which is the type of nude that I like. If you wanna leave it like that, you can totally do that, but I like to take things to the next level. I've been obsessed with this Dose of Colors lipstick in Over the Top. I think this is this from their, no. This is from their first round of collab, but I like it because I feel like it's the perfect color, especially for the holidays. It's like this gold, shimmery, sparkly lip product, and I'm just gonna be applying this all over my lips. It just adds the prettiest like reflex of gold. Like a good gloss just makes your lips look so juicy. Okay, so now to complete this look, I wanna talk about a setting spray that I am obsessed with. My camera is about to die, so I'm just praying that I can get through this part and then just film the outro once I stick that new battery in there. So let's try to do this. So another product from KIKO Milano that I was obsessed with was their setting spray. So my camera just shafted me and it just died. As soon as I said, I hope this doesn't die, it died. I was saying, this makeup setting spray just completely changed the game for me. It keeps your makeup all day long. And I just love the way this sprays, because I feel like a lot of setting sprays, when they spray, it kind of starts to like drip down your face. And I know people have that issue where they spray and then like it gets all over their eyeshadow and it ruins it and they just have to restart. This isn't like that. This is like bam, bam, bam. Doesn't even feel like you're spraying. It just feels like you're like fanning yourself and you're good to go. So let's spray this baby and witness the magic. Oh my God. A dream. Okay, so that pretty much completes my favorites for the month of November. I was really passionate about these, as you can see, because I raved about them. Please let me know down below in the comment section your favorites, because I want to go out and buy more stuff. If you have any favorite bronzers or blushes that you recommend me to try, or even brow products, let me know what they are. Is there anything else I want to say? Roll Tide, people. Alabama, Alabama, Alabama. If you guys are a Roll Tide Alabama fan, Crimson Tide, let a girl know, because we will be BFFs real quick. So yeah, that concludes my look for today, my favorites for today. I'm so excited to see what the month of December is going to bring us to. There's a lot of hot new shiz coming out, and I'm just all here for it. I already have some things that I feel like maybe my favorites this month, but we're gonna have to see at the end of the month. Also, you guys are gonna see my 2018 favorites. I have a lot in store for that, so just stay tuned. But that being said, if you guys did enjoy my video, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. It lets me know to continue doing my try on favorites videos. I love doing it this way. It's so much fun. It helps me show you guys how I use my favorites. So don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. I would love for you to become a member family here on YouTube because I wouldn't want you guys to miss my fun videos for the world. And now it's time to go edit this video so I can get it up for you guys shortly. So I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon for a brand new video. Bye guys!